Alright, this will be my third video today, so let's see what happens. Nothing unusual so far. I'm getting this line a lot lately. After this one I'll look it up and tell you what the line you're supposed to play is. I think this position is supposed to be pretty comfortable for black here. I mean for white. See what happens here. If he takes, I'm gonna try to castle and get a quick, some quick pressure against this king. Pawn takes, castles, maybe bishop here, something. Well, then I could probably... Hard to say. Okay. Castled, so that's good. I don't know if bishop e7 was the best way. I think he might have wanted to take right away. Now if he castles, of course, I'll take on e5. So he can't castle. He'll probably play pawn takes pawn. Okay, and now here comes... This is sort of a critical decision here. You know, what am I going to do about... do I want to try something like knight g5 with a big attack, or just knight here? I guess this knight takes leaves him with some pretty tough decisions already. Yeah, this looks fine. Maybe queen b6 can be a little... No, he's in some trouble here. Okay, because he wants to play bishop c5. I don't think that's a huge deal. It obviously gets him out of some of... I had a massive attack, so it gets him out of that. But still, I think I have a pretty nice position here. His development is, by no means smooth. So I'll just try to play here, and he'll probably play bishop here. So, that taking on d4 did let him sort of weasel out of the worst of his position. So that was nice on his part. But I have an isolated and weak pawn, but I don't mind my position at all. So I don't know. That seemed like really the only move here. Okay, so he's going to want to play, there. Trying to calculate the resulting knight ending at the end of all this. Because I have a feeling he's going to trade off. Oops. Okay, well, that was a mistake on my part. Let's see here. Knight takes, take. Okay, this looks fine. Very fortunate that I had that move. Otherwise, I think he's just getting his pawn back. So pawn takes, rook takes, pawn takes, and then I have to decide. All right, I get to his pawn fast enough. So, yeah, this is fine for me. Pawn takes, rook takes, king up, and I get to this pawn fast enough, and this is just a king and pawn ending, where I'm up a pawn. So probably he could try something like rook c8. Seems like the most obvious move. Something like king e6, and I'm just going to take this, and we're going to go into this king and pawn ending, and I think I'm clearly better there. Okay, I'm really surprised he played that, but whatever. Okay, so now I guess it's just even king and pawn ending, and I have a good time edge here, so I don't think time is really going to be a factor, though. This is so simplified. Okay, how do I want to play it? This move looks good. If g5, I'm just going to come there and take it. Play this. Probably play that. Okay, so this could be a little bit tricky. It's been a while since I studied my basic king and pawn endings. Is this position without these pawns here, is this a win for me? I think it really depends on the position. I do have the opposition, though. So, I don't know if I can keep it. Pawn takes, pawn takes. I think taking really is his only try here. Anything else and he's just completely sunk. We'll see what he does. Yeah, he's got to take, I think. If a5, pawn takes, and I'll play a3. And then I think it's just an easy win for me. He's running himself low on time, though. At this point, I could just play to flag him. But we'll see. We'll see what he does. Okay, I think that's a pretty serious mistake. Yeah, this is a horrible idea. That's essentially just giving up. So, now there's no way he can stop both my pawns. So I suspect he'll resign soon. Okay, so it was nice to actually play a solid game. Didn't make many tactical mistakes. It did. I think there were some inaccuracies in the middle game, so let's take a quick look. And I'm trying to find my Trumpowski book. Hold on a second while I pause the video so I can get it to sort of evaluate the opening. Okay, I paused it so I could get my Trumpowski book here. Winning with the Trumpowski, Peter Wells, great book. I should probably put it in a database, but too lazy for now. Okay, so he considers probably one of the better lines against the Trumpowski, this e6 line. And he gives a bunch of suggestions. Here, taking. From here, though, there are a bunch of different ideas. A lot of them involve playing f4, knight c3, queen d2. I think he thinks that queen d2 is the most refined. Let's see, 173. Hold on a second, and I will tell you what is recommended. Okay. So, let's see here. All right, actually, while it seems to suggest that queen d3, he likes queen d3. Okay. He thinks that this is just one line given. Queen d3, c5, and now e5 is the reason this is good. It says, good or bad, the fact that having the f5 square covered enables this move. That's one half of what queen d3 is all about. So, alright, so c5 is met with e5, and after queen e7, he has some other recommendations, but, oops, wait a minute. Oh, I'm getting the order all wrong on this, apparently. Apparently, this is actually recommended, and the idea between is after bishop b. Okay, now I gotta learn this move order. Knight c3, and the idea is to control e4 and also get ready to castle queenside in some lines and pray for bishop b4. Now queen d3. Sometimes they recommend queen d2, but the problem is that this knight is pinned. So queen d3, and now the idea is of c5, e5 here. And then queen e7. Okay, now this actually makes sense. So, let's see. He castled, in the example game, actually the author played it, Peter Wells, he castled queenside here. He doesn't really like it that much. He said a3 is probably better. a3, here. Now it says knight c6. I don't know what's wrong with this. I'll have to look up some games in this line, but knight c6, d5. Oops, oh no, I'm not following this line right at all. Pretty much he just says that after queen c3, this is a little bit awkward for black because he's got to play b6, I guess, because knight c6 doesn't work. And if this move, this move can't be played, obviously, because of this. Sorry, I probably wouldn't have missed that if I didn't have my nose in the book. Okay, so yeah, that's nice. Pretty much black has to play b6 here. It's pretty much the only way to avoid losing a pawn. Yeah, I think this is kind of, this is fine for white. I like this. I don't know, knight f3, maybe just take here. So that would be the right way to play it. I didn't play that, so let's look at what I played. I was just sort of... Now I played this move, and I think the reason I played that is because I want to get an f4. But maybe that's not so good. Especially in light of... I sort of underestimated this plan of playing quick e5. Although I think I came up with a pretty nice response, actually. I was pretty happy with this bishop c4 move. So yeah, maybe this isn't just not good for black because of bishop c4. So the idea was if he takes, I'll castle, and now maybe bishop here. Here, though, I got to decide where to put this knight, and it matters a lot because my knight. The problem is if this knight could come somewhere effective, I would have a nice position, but I don't think it can. Anywhere here, he's just going to take it, and I don't get enough on this f7 square. And it sort of looks really ugly to play something like this. Which, I mean, I guess I could try... Well, actually, he plays this. And this bishop did defend this rook, but now this bishop doesn't defend this rook, and it's check. And if I move, I drop my rook, and I get mated. So that actually looks winning. So probably just have to play something like f5 here. I mean, e5. Yeah, I mean, this looks good for him. Yeah, he probably should have just played this, and now I think he's fine. e5, where's the queen? The queen probably comes here, and that's nice because it's hitting this square. I would probably play something like, I don't know. Let's see. What would, probably, no, this check is going to be deadly. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't as good as I thought, maybe. So if somebody has any ideas after takes, castles, and bishop here. I wonder if I have anything wild like that. I don't. That's got to be crazy. So yeah, this position. I don't know. I mean, if he can castle, if he is able to castle, I'm just worse. So maybe this, but even that just castles, and I'm down material. I guess something like this. Maybe I throw in b5. The idea being that in lines where I play e5, his queen can't come to b6 anymore because the bishop presumably is going to be there. Like b5. Well, this move is interesting. I don't know. There, I think I can just sack the exchange. Here, and then, I don't know, this move, probably. Well, takes... Which to play? Maybe this move? I don't know, this is interesting. Here, castles, maybe? Here, only move, and then, I don't know, something cute. I'm not going to be able to trap his queen, though. Oops, that'll trade queens. So, I don't know, this position is probably better for him. Yeah, definitely just up the exchange. So, maybe I can't make anything of that. So maybe this b4 idea doesn't quite work because of this check, which is pretty nasty. I don't know. I feel like there should be something I have here. Even if it's something like... it, maybe? Now, if he takes it, I could probably get a huge attack, but he probably just doesn't take it. I don't know. So this position, I'd like to put this in Fritz, because intuitively, this idea of just allowing him to take on d4 and castling seems good. But anyway, he played bishop e2, which I think is a mistake. That gives me too much activity. For example, if here, I just take it, which is, I guess, what happened in the game, right? Yeah. And if pretty much anything else, if he castles, I'm just going to take this. And he's in a lot of trouble here. Doesn't really make good squares to go to an f7 is in a lot of trouble. So he tried this. Okay. Now, of course, I overlooked this move. So that was nice. That really saved him, because if he has to move this queen anywhere else, he's pretty much toast. Because wherever the king goes, here or here, it's pinned. Well, there I can probably just come here. Either way, the point is this king is in a lot of trouble. If he comes here, I can just play here, and if this knight moves anywhere, that's double check and mate. So he probably has to come here when something like, I don't know, this, he's in a lot of trouble again. Well, maybe not that. Maybe I'd rather play... I don't know. Maybe he's okay here. It's hard to believe, though. I think this is fine for me. Probably just something like this. So anyway, I took it. So that at least that got him. This just goes into an ending where he's down a pawn. So that's not bad. Obviously to defend, and now just trading. And I had a feeling he would trade. I think these were mistakes, though. That was a nice idea. Pretty much anything else isn't going to be so good. But I think this move again, I was fortunate to have that. And yeah, here I think he made a big mistake taking. I think better might be just this, and this, and trying to play this rook. A rook ending down a pawn is a lot easier to play than a king and pawn ending down a pawn. So that would have been much stronger. Instead, he played this, and I don't know if he miscounted, but he's just losing this pawn. And now this ending is pretty easy for me. I'm going to try to lock up these pawns, I think would be a good strategy, and then I'm going to get a pass around the queen side. Again, though, he made my job really easy. First of all, by advancing this pawn so far, it's easy for me to get a pass pawn. This is just losing. He should play this and just hope he can somehow survive this. If he starts to go this way, I'm just going to push. And this is way too slow for him. So he's got to try to... He can't really go... Well, if he goes that way, I guess here... Yeah, maybe that's a little bit premature. I guess I'd probably play something like this. See what he does. A5. I guess it depends on how slow... If this might... I don't want to play this, but it looks like I might have to in some lines. I don't know. How fast am I? No, he's just toast here. The nice thing about having these pawns left is, well, first of all, he's letting me promote with check. That's my fault, though. Assuming he played a little bit better, he wouldn't do that. But anyway, even if this pawn somehow miraculously got super far, I could just sack my queen for the pawn and I'd win. Anyway, but it was a pretty interesting king and pawn, even though it was probably clearly winning for me. But it is the kind of thing that tests your knowledge. I hadn't studied these kind of endings in a long time. But this is just a mistake because now he can't do anything about this best one. I guess he could try this, but it's just hopeless. I mean, come here. He's not going to be fast enough to stop this pawn. And it's over.